you jump Mitchell?
Yeah.
And then you'll hear the order, fire further round. Just to note on colour schemes while all that's going on. Notice the quad, known as a quad, four-wheel drive. It is brown and black. It was the predominant colour during the War of British Forces up until about 1944. When we went green to be in unison with the Americans. We can only escort load black powder ammunition. In real life, the shell would go first, followed by a cartridge, the thing you see burning now. Within that cartridge were three, four lights, red, white and blue, and depending on how far you wanted to fire the gun, you would take one or more of these out of the case before passing it to loading. The red bag itself will allow the gun to fire 2.2 miles. The maximum range of this gun is a staggering 7.6 miles. And normally, they would not see the enemy. If the enemy were in view, you're in difficulties. That we represented 69th Field Regiment Royal Artillery.
Is that 25 pounds? Now it's a
unit, part of the Polar Bear Division, the 49th Division West Army. Included famous infantry regiments like the Duke of Wellington's. At the start of the war, the badges were the White Rose of Yorkshire, but the garrison fairly early on, I think in 1940, was sent to garrison Iceland, so that the Germans didn't take that as a port, and the Polar Bear was considered somewhat more long road, so that became the symbol. Some 18,000 men in the division.
What smoke around.
When the division went to Europe in 1944, after D-Day, fought the Germans at a place called Rore, and after that battle became known as the Butcher Bears for the very hard fighting. I think they were up against the SS, and it was really no quarter on either side. In fact, Hitler gave the instruction that anybody wearing a polar bear was to be shot. See the gun elevated to its highest angle, which is about 42 degrees. If anybody wants to have a close look at the gun, on the left there, have a look at the ammunition. Be very careful, don't drop it on your toes. And have a look at the cartridge cases and the bags and so on. And then, if you're particularly technically minded, have a word with the technical assistant and find out how all this plotting goes on maps and how they affect the fall of shot and so on. I think Paul was saying earlier, it's quite rare vehicles here. There's a very rare artillery track at the top of the field, which is a Morris CDSW. You can see it for the next. But that was the primary tractor unit at the beginning of the war. Of course, British Expeditionary Forces went across France, defeated in a matter of days by the Germans, and all 80,000 vehicles, most of them guns, and 500,000 tons of stores were left in France. And the CDSWs that weren't destroyed were typically left there. This is the survivors that belong to the Irish Army. For those of you who are not familiar with driving the